safe. He is safe. I really believe that. I don't care. He can finish this season 0-16. They're going to find a million excuses to keep him on and give him one more chance. Because we have that trophy sitting in the dome, he will always get another chance.
Okay. Kyle, your thoughts?
As long as the old man is there, unless this team does horribly wrong to win less than 6 games, I think he stays if they do win 6 games or above. I wouldn't want him to, but this is my thought. This would possibly happen. I'm just going to say I think he needs to be, if he does stay, he needs to jettison some of these assistant coaches. I've got to say this, Aaron Glenn, with what he has been given with all the injuries to that secondary, has done a pretty good job with those young guys.
Yes, he has. Aaron Glenn has done a superb job. So he has. That one I would keep. The question was brought up. I was listening to WWL after the game Monday night, the post show and everything else, and the question was brought up by one of the listeners that when CJ left Tulane, Coach Payton, should have really gone back to bring him back more so than a lot of the other people he brought back or have retained. And there was no significant move to bring CJ back because CJ, and this is just with the commentary, I don't know how true this is or not, but that he didn't want to bring CJ back allegedly from this commentator because he did not want to have CJ be an assistant to Coach Johnny Martin. That would be too low of a demotion, and that CJ would not agree with that at all, But when you look at the Saints receivers, and I know Kobe Fleener showed up, but he still had about 2 or 3 drops. He's still dropping a lot of passes. They're still bouncing the ball off their chest and bouncing it up in the air and all of this stuff that's going on with the offense. Unfortunately, you have to win with your offense now. The offense cannot turn over the ball, and they've got to score 35 points a game. That's the only way the Saints can have a chance. And that's what Coach Payton has to reiterate to Drew, to Brandon Cooks, Mark Ingram, Hightower, Snead, Fleener, and Thomas. We have to win with y'all. Bottom line, we've gotten ravaged with injuries. We need you to play. Lutz, we need you to make your field goals. We've got to score at least 90% of the time when we have the ball because we don't have an experienced defense. Now, the question is, you were not ravaged with your front 7. Yeah, Kikaha and Ellaby. You still have Stephon Anthony, Stupar, Laurinaitis, Craig Robinson. You still have them. You still have your front 4. Tyler Davison missed this game. So the question is, what is wrong with the front end of the football team? Because you were not ravaged with your line and your linebackers. You were ravaged with your secondary. So the front, the two areas in the front, he needs to start asking for some answers from Bill Johnson and Joe Vitt.
Yeah.
And he needs to get each unit and their coach in the room. This is what you got to do when you're having problems to come up with solutions. You've got to gather the unit and all the players and the coach. Let's get in the room. Let's find out what's going on. And let me hear from the players. Let me hear from them too. Because you can't just be in this dictatorship mode when I'm the coach and I'm always right. Let's hear, what can we do better? What do you guys think we could do better to fix this problem with our poor run defense? Because to let Freeman just killed them. Killed them.
Well, and guys, we can go on and on to the break of dawn, right? It's not looking good at all. Professor, will you have a show on Friday?
No show this Friday. Nope.
Okay, no show this Friday. Okay, guys, if you guys would like to also go back and listen to last night's show with the Who Dat Confessional with Rev and Brian, excellent show again. Coach Rick Gailey will be back next week from the coach's office, and we're going to be pushing back the Saints News radio program on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for the next several weeks. until the holiday season. So that's all I have to say about that. But one thing I do have to say, man, guys, if you look at that 2015 draft, the Saints selected Stephon Anthony as their inside linebacker. And then the next guys to go down was Malcolm Brown, defensive tackle, Landon Collins, Donovan Smith, Mario Edwards, Yeldon, Delvin Smith, Preston Smith, Eddie Goldman. All these guys, you pretty much say, not really high impact players, right? But then when we get down to what our next selection, which we chose Kakaha, which I could see is a pretty good guy, but in between selecting Kakaha, the Houston Texans selected McKinney as inside linebacker, and he's doing a great job for the Houston Texans this season. And then we chose Kakaha, but the next pick was Eric Kendricks.
And that's what I told you. Remember, Kyle, what I told you? I remember I was on the phone. I said they need to get the Kendricks brother, because his brother was good in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my choice was the Saints. At the draft before that was the Boyd kid from UCLA, and this year Kendricks. When I look at Minnesota, those were two of the players that I had kept my eyes on, saying the Saints need to get those two guys in their respective drafts, whatever you need to do to get them. And they chose another direction, and the issue, hopefully with Kakaha, he will find a way to stay healthy, but he had this same problem in college. That's why I don't know what kind of due diligence the Saints are doing on these players, because Kakaha had an injury problem when he came from Washington. Great pass rusher, but he could not stay healthy. I think morally, in the head of Stephon Anthony, you may have ruined this young man. You may have taken away all of his confidence and everything. And here's someone that is going to be your starting linebacker in another year or two, because Laurinaitis is 30 years of age. And now you have probably destroyed this young man's confidence, which I hope and pray that it has not destroyed him. And I hope that the words and ugliness that was describing him by WWL, that none of the stuff that he has been aware of or heard, because that those words can be very, very hurting to a young man's psyche when he's trying to do his best, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right, guys. Any last comments, Rim?
I just hope they turn it around. I still love the guys. I'm just not happy with what I'm seeing. And I'm going to still be there watching this Sunday, regardless of what how it comes out. But I would love to, for a change, really enjoy a game. So I hope to see a turnaround.
And please win the game, because if you don't, the professor is going to turn off DirecTV's NFL ticket.
That is already on my list tomorrow to call. When does my monthly subscription end? For October, because after that you can just take it off of my own cable package, because I am just not gonna waste any more money on this, because I'm like Remy. I do not enjoy the Saints game. I'm just going to be very honest. I do not enjoy watching this team, because it is like you just sitting there knowing something stupid is going to happen. And
waiting for the implosion.
Yeah,
waiting for the implosion. Yeah, that's like the old days, though, man. That's what's so bad about it when you keep on. Yeah. If you bring it up like that, that's like the old days when we knew something was going to happen in the Superdome. Mm-hmm. You're gonna, this something going to happen wrong on this punt. Earthsclaven, ball goes over there.
Ball goes over there. I'm trying to keep my blood pressure like it was today, 120 over 80, which is perfect blood pressure. But when I'm watching this thing, I'm looking to throw something. I'm looking to. I don't cuss, but I'm looking to cuss. And then being Franco in here getting into all kinds of yelling matches and arguments, because he's got an excuse for everything the Saints do. He's got an excuse for them. And I'm like, excuses are tools or monuments that build nothing. And so it's like, I don't even want to watch these games with nobody, because it puts me in a bad mood, don't want to be bothered, and I'm just like, I need to detach myself from this stuff with the Saints and on Sundays. So going forward, I'll be most time moving myself up into early service and be at church so that when they're on, I won't even be worried about it. I'll watch the game on Game Rewind on Monday, because it's just a waste of my money right now with this team.
All right.
Well, for me, man, I can function after a loss. It's not that serious to me, but it's like, I would prefer to see them win. I would, I can. To me, when they lose, it's like I spent money to go to a movie and the movie sucked. But I get over it. I can function right afterwards. But speaking of cursing, when that play happened with the punt, I sat there and just looked at static of TV for a minute, and suddenly I just said, "WTF was that?" and of course I said it. I didn't say WTF. I said what WTF means, but something told me pick up your phone and just check social media. And I scrolled through my social media, and you would not believe how many WTFs I saw. As I was scrolling, it was just so funny, man. I had like about 15 WTFs. And not one person referenced the game, but I knew what they were all talking about.
Look, man, I was just sitting on the couch, and I just looked at it. I was like, okay, that happened. It happened. Ain't nothing you can say. Ain't nothing you can say, Rem. Ain't nothing you can say, Professor.
I think Archie Manning was at that game too. I bet you Archie Manning said, "Oh, I've seen this before."
He had it happen to him too many times before.
I think Archie Manning would say, "I've seen this a whole lot of times in the '70s and early '80s."
I think Archie was saying, "I think that's Marty's dad out there. That must be the original Marty." With that kind of stuff going on. Not to say that Marty had anything to do with that play, but that's the kind of stuff that went on when Marty's dad played. Yeah.
Better yet, Harris. Oh, remember Ike Harris, the wide receiver? Mr. Harris, that was probably Harris' daddy, Ike Harris. Sitting in there saying, I've seen this before.
Well, anyway, Saints fans, y'all have a great week. Let's see if our boys can be able to go to San Diego when Drew goes back to his former team. He hasn't been back to that stadium in 10 years, and I hope he comes back healthy and doesn't come back like he was 10 years ago when he left that stadium.
Don't even, Carl, don't even say that.
I had to.
Man, it's already bad enough. You don't even think that, bro.
Look, I'm going to say this. I remember that game.
Take those words out the airway right now, God.
I remember that game, and I was watching that game.
Goodness.
And I said to myself, before he got injured, why is Drew Brees still in the game? Bam! He tackled in the end zone. Guy falls on his shoulder. I remember that game.
Oh, boy. What is your prediction? Me and Remy said what we thought.
Oh, man. My prediction is I pray to the Lord the Saints will win because they have no other choice. And,
wow.
I really do think they... Look, it ain't if they're going to win, they need to win. That's all I'm saying. They need to win.
What is the deal, bro? Check this out. Our division is so weak, we are still not out of it. That's
still not out of it.
Crazy about this.
Right.
That is what's so crazy. Because I would not be surprised. So put this on paper. I would not be surprised if the winner of our division goes 6-10.
Oh my God! Remy Diamond. Oh my God! Oh my God!
It would not surprise me.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, look, because all right, on Sunday the Panthers and the Falcons play, right?
Well, we were 7-8, so that ain't that far off. Remy, in 2014, Carolina won it with a 7-8-1 record. So
exactly.
It's possible. You're right.
Exactly. Look, the Panthers play the Falcons. The Panthers can win that game at home, right?
Yeah,
so,
the Panthers ran and caused. Let me tell you, they ran across the best two defenses, and they lost 21-20 and 22-10. Carolina will win this division, hands down. Unless Cam gets hurt, which we hope he don't,